Hey YouTube, I'm super excited to share with you my K11, my Swiss-made K11. This is the predecessor to the K31, and check out my other video that I made for the K31 because I outfit it with this awesome scope and rail system because I want to use it for deer hunting. I want to share with you a problem I'm having with this gun. I brought this gun home and you can see it's just in beautiful condition. This is all matching parts. The stock has been refinished, but that wasn't really a big deal to me as a collector because I really wanted this to be a shooting gun to plink around with at the range. And unfortunately, the gun has a very, very stiff action mechanism and it's almost impossible to really get it going. Very, very stiff. You really have to pull back on it. I don't want it to stay like that because I probably I'm going to get very sore doing that, and it's also probably not good for the gun. But it gets stuck about right there. I give it a big pop and then I can do it. Okay, now what I noticed is if I cock this first and I pull the spring back, the striker spring, it's a lot easier to pull. And originally I thought that was going to be a function of maybe the spring is too stiff, but I've already taken the whole bolt apart and examined everything and the spring looks fine. So I kind of posted this complaint on a bunch of gun forums, and most people are suggesting that this needs to be heavily, or not heavily, but significantly lubricated with a gun grease. I used a little CLP and that did not work. So I'm going to take this bolt apart, show you the parts, and then we'll try to fix this problem. I'm not really going to get into too much detail here. I'll just kind of quickly go through it. You put the firing pin kind of in this intermediate position right there. Take some pressure off the spring, and then you can kind of shimmy out the handle by rotating this like this, and this should just kind of pop out like that. Okay, so next we're just going to put the firing pin into the fire position, and then we can unscrew the bolt plug here like this and take that out, and you can see the firing pin. Now the bolt sleeve just kind of slides off from the bolt body as such. That. Okay, so next we're just going to take the firing pin off here by doing this like simple little maneuver where you kind of bring the spring down and then just kind of pull it off like that. So here's your firing pin, here's your firing pin spring, and I mean it does seem stiff, but I definitely don't think that that's my problem, to be honest with you. And then just pull this out like that, and we are disassembled. So here are all of our parts. And again, I'm looking at all these things and I don't see anything that's obviously damaged. These lugs look pretty good. They don't seem kind of warped at all or bent or chipped. And everything just looks pretty good. Okay, I got a little of this all-purpose white lithium grease, and I'm going to lightly kind of coat all the surfaces. So next we take the firing pin spring, put it right over as such, and it feels nice and actually lubricated now. I like it. All right, and then take my firing pin. So you want to just kind of compress the spring in your hand like that, and then this guy goes over the edge. Let me show you like that, and then let the spring kind of come back up to hold it like that. Boom. Okay. So next we'll take the bolt body and the locking collar, slide that right over, and here are the lugs in the front, which is good. And some of this is a lot of grease, but we're gonna put a little extra on more than we need, and just to see if that's the problem, I can always take some off too. Okay, so then next we'll take the firing pin and cocking piece and then put it into the the bolt and the bolt collar and just kind of screw that back in. All right, like that. Good. All right, everything seems lubricated. Okay, so now we're going to take our cam follower rod and put it back, and you can see here this rotates, and this track here kind of is lined up nicely with those front receptacle areas. So we're just going to slide that right in there, and this back part will go into that rail like that. You can turn it to kind of lock it if you want. And I'm going to put this on the fire position now, so it puts some tension on it, like that. All right, now we should be able to put it back in the gun. All right, it's in. Okay, so a moment of truth here. She's all clean. She has the white grease on all the internal parts. And so we'll do the easy part first. We'll pull the firing pin back and just see how that cycles. Very easy. Very easy. All right, so let's put that down. All right, now this is the hard part before, so let's give it a little jerk and just see how it goes. Oh, I like it. All right. That feels pretty good. Now, before I couldn't put steady pressure and let it pop open, so let's try that now. That works pretty good. All right. I mean, it's still a little stiff, but it's a lot better with the grease on there. So let's call it a victory.